Now you know, most of you know, that we're working on our Sprinter van. Quick recap. Last week was subfloor, getting everything prepped, ready, put the gray tank in, which will be underneath the dinette. So we raised everything up. We'll show that in a little bit. You'll see it in videos, but I just want to give you a quick recap. So today, Monday, what I'm going to do is install the floor. It is a Lucida, I think this is the Max Core. So it's vinyl plank. It's the piano black, super sleek and elegant looking. So I'm going to install that. First, I'm going to put down our underlayment. So put that down, then I'll put the floor. I've got this Quiet Walk premium floating floor underlayment. Says it helps with sound control, moisture protection, compression resistant, thermal insulation. So that'll help. And good thing about this, most of them come in 4-foot wide rolls. This one is 6 foot. So it's a little too wide. So I just have to cut a little bit off. So we'll roll it all the way through here. We'll go up through that dinette. Alright, give you all a tip. When you're doing underlayment, you need to cut it, and you pick it up with your head and hold the whole huge roll up with your head, and you cut. When you let go, or your muscles are tense, you're gonna pull something. Whew. You have my shoulder blade right now. Can't feel it. It hurts. Can't move. So I'm cutting out these for the bench seat, the second row, and I'm like, oh man, you know, I don't want it to be square. I want the corners to be curved. What am I gonna do? I've got this with a little bit, and when I say it just like melted it perfect, like look at those curves, it looks so good. So I'm gonna do that on the other side. That one's not as good because I blame it on you guys for me trying to hold this. So those look better. Definitely much better. And then clean all this up once I'm done. Found me a way to make it look nice around the seat brackets. Remember last week's video how I said our gray tank drain is 1.5 inches, and I drilled the hole in my flexible 90 1.5 inch goes down in below. And so I said I got 1.5 inch waste valve. So there's that. So this will plug right into that 90. Then this is 1.5 inch fitting. So it slides into here. It's threaded. So it's female. So for my hose, I was like, you know, I'd love to use like a backwash hose. It'll fold up real nice. Doesn't take up a lot of space. On our last van, we had just a water hose adapter, and that's how we emptied the gray tanks. Took a little bit. So I figured with this, it won't take us long. So these are cam lock fittings. So obviously the hose will be on here, then do like that, and your hose is attached. Pretty nifty and cool. So this obviously will screw into here like a so. So this will be on the van at all times like this. Then, obviously my hose will come in here. Boom. And voila. Now you can drain your tanks. I'll link them in the description below. I'll link all of this in the description below if you want to do it. So all that black is from me painting the bare metal. You want to make sure you paint bare metal so that it won't rust as quickly, or it won't rust at all. So that was just me just painting all bare metal. But so I've got the valve into the flexible elbow, and I don't know if you can see, it's kind of dark over here, but it's screwed on with the hose clamp on the end. Then obviously I've got that adapter. Then I've got this part, and then here is my hose. So it's the back wash hose. It comes 25 foot. You can obviously cut it to whatever you think you need. But see how it folds up nice and tight. Then I've got that on there. And so literally all it will do is get on here, lock it in place, you're good to go. I mean, look, like you can't even tell, hey, that there's a waste valve in here. And before it gets covered up with ram board, figured you wanted to see this. You might have wanted to see this. Can't talk. So there it all is. Right about these van rails off Amazon. This van did not come with the OEM roof rails. These are Van Tech rails for 170 inch wheelbase. I think they said for the extended it'll be short one hole, which is totally fine. But it comes with all the hardware, gasket material. The only thing you have to do, where every hole is, there's a plug. They sealed the plugs and then they painted over it. So you've got to come around with a razor blade and cut all the way around. And then once you do that, then you've got to go inside. And you see, ooh, kind of dark. I've already popped one plug out. What you'll do, you'll come around and you'll, well, but you want to pop it open. It's kind of hard with one hand. You guys, you make it hard for me, okay? Let's see. Second hand helps. Got the plugs out there all the way around. Then I came with some degreaser and cleaned everything up. Got all the dirt dust out of the little ribs, jams. So now I need to put the rails on. This 170 will obviously have A, B, and C. Obviously I already did this. Then we've got the gasket that goes on here. You put the bolt through the little connector. Then you go from the inside and tighten it up and put the end pieces. Now I've got my connectors. This is B, so A's gotta go first. So what we need to do, I think it needs to go like so. Good thing it's a good thing I didn't remove the very back hole plug, because you need to keep it. So don't scrape, cut, remove the back plug. So these are really just 170s. They don't make another product for the 170 extended. Kind of a bummer. Oh well. Let me put these back on. I need to go pop open that front plug. So it's got a washer, lock nut, and a nut. So that'll all go on the inside. So the only thing that goes on the outside is the Allen hex head screw. It's all installed up top. That's the Allen, which you need 4mm. Now I need a 7/16 wrench. Got it. Let's go tighten them up. So the instructions definitely lie. It's not 7/16. 7/16 is way too big.
3/8 is too small. 10 millimeters, at least for the nuts that I was getting. So got those rails on. Now I need cross rails so that I can mount solar panels. A little slot. So what I'll be able to do is put a bolt in the slot with a nut washer and tighten them down. Just got to figure out what I'll probably have to do is maybe make something kind of like this. It's like, you know, welded in, can't move. So I have to see what I'll have to do about that, but figure something out. Just gonna kind of put these in place loosely so I can still slide them and move them around, because I will have a fan here and a fan up here. So I'll just mount it. We've got 2 solar panels, so I have 2. Obviously, there'll be way more room for more if you need more, but it's just nice to have 2 at least. So obviously, your bracket to mount it, like your screws, the bolts. So you'll slide these in here. It's like that. What you'll do is pop that down, washer, lock nut. You're gonna need a 1/2-inch wrench. Smaller, like you did, they go inserts on the rails. So that must be how they go. This bar is like 65 inches long. Because it's made for like ladder racks, things like that, it extends out pretty far. The ends off, cut a good bit off the ends. And it does come with like rubber little caps, like plug caps. Doesn't matter that it won't be black on the end. It'll still be black on the end. Cut, not cut. Hey, got the solar panels up and mounted. I made a wind fairing on the front. I'm gonna have to do something on the sides as well. I'll go up there and show you that in a little bit. Fan square drawn out. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna go in the corners and I'm gonna drill a hole in each 4 corners. So that tells me, hey, there's that corner, there's the corner. I can go up top and draw up top, and then I'll tape everything around so that when I come with my jigsaw or grinder, whatever I choose to do, I know where the square is. All taped out. Those are my corners. So now I'll come with the jigsaw with the metal blade and cut along these lines. So that's the wind fairing that I made. It's out of aluminum. I bent it, and then I have some rubberized coating that I just sprayed it in. It's got double-sided tape holding it down. I've got some VHB tape coming if this tape isn't sticky enough. Obviously VHB will, but you can see how it'll block the wind. And I'll also need to do one on each side. Okay, like that, we have a square for our fan. So now what I'll do is I'll take up this tape. I'll come with a file all the edges. It's time for install. Must paint bare edges.
And we can wrap up here is 2020 has been tough in a number of ways.
So this is in place, it's not screwed down. But what I used is obviously the ribs. This is like a foam gasket, it's very dense. So I used that to build up. It's about the same height as a rib. What I did first was I put down some Volcom, smushed it in the Volcom, filled up the little corner edges where the gasket would meet with Volcom, Then I put butyl tape on this trim ring. Then I'm gonna put these screws in wet, which means obviously put sealant first. And then I will come back with sealant all around, and then I will come with self-leveling sealant. So now we're getting close to wiring for electrical. What I like to use is these in Airstreams as well.
A cute fuzzy little visitor. What's his name?
Tempo.
Thumper. What's his name?
Pinksy.
So what these are just they're adhesive backed. So what it does is it holds the wires in place, makes it a little bit nicer, neat. You can obviously throw the zip tie through there, zip tie it in place. But I like to put them kind of wherever we will need wires. That way you don't have things just hanging all down all over the place. So this will be for where we have our puck lights. And then down here, as you can see, I'm gonna have other wiring. So just wherever I'm gonna have other wiring, I'm gonna put these so that the wires, like I said, aren't just falling down all over the place. I'll link these down below. They're very, very handy. What I've got going on is, so I made the front wind fairing out of aluminum. It's bolted down, stuck on with double-sided tape. So what I need to do for the sides is make some for the sides, kind of like a wind blocker. I've read that even with this, you still have lots of unwanted noise and resistance against the solar panels. So I'm gonna make some for each side. This is my duplicate, so traced out the outside, so now I'll flip it this way since it'll be on the other side. And I'll draw my lines so where I need to bend. So this top lip that I'm about to bend will be how it will attach to the solar panel. So those energy panels have holes, like if you wanted to mount them from the side. I'm going to utilize those holes and put a bolt through each on the sides, so that way it can be mounted directly to the panel. If you don't have a brake, watch YouTube, learn how to make your own. Got some pretty nifty ones. All right, it's on the mark, it's on the mark. Oh, need a 90 degrees, yeah. All right, here we go. It's a little overdone in some areas, so what I can do is put it back in and just kind of take it out.
Notice he's wearing gloves because he doesn't want stitches again.
Yeah. What she said. It's hard to show you something with one hand. But you can see, so what I'll do is I'll bolt it to the panel, and then I'll double side tape here. But it fits perfectly all along there. It'll block the wind from there. From the front, I'll get it nice and tight. So I've got I'm running wires for these lights, all these puck lights in here. What I'm using, it's 14-2. It's like audio cable, so it's shielded, stranded copper. It's pretty cheap. It comes in like 100 foot, 250 foot, 500 foot rolls. I always just buy the 500 foot because we're always using wire for 12 volt in all the projects. I'll link it in the description below. Removing the tail lights so that I can take the clips out for all the wiring. The wiring, if you can see, it's exposed on the inside. We're gonna run it on the inside of the actual like body itself.
So you're not building around it.
Yes. And you'll give it a little wiggle, and you've got 3 plunger right here. And you'll just come over here, and you just pry away. This one's a lot easier than the other one. I think we were scared on the other one. And just like that, you got it done.
Where's the plunger things you're talking about?
These little.
So what'd you do? You put that in there?
Yeah, I put this in here, kind of pried it out. And then I'm able to take that out. As you can see, this is the wiring that would have clipped in all the way through here. So what we did was unclip it all, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna slide it through this little pass here so that it's inside the wall, so that we don't have to build around it. There's grommet in here so that, because really if you want to go inside the walls, there's no holes. And so I put the hole higher than the ceiling because I need to come from the lights, the puck lights down to where the switch will be, and then from the switch back to where the batteries will be. And if I wanted to go all the way, I'll just be wasting wire. So this grommet is so you don't slice your wires through the metal. So it's rubber and grommet.
So you drilled the hole and then put the rubber in.
Yeah. What I wanted to show y'all is for our last van we had I had purchased 4 LED cubes, and so I had put one here, 2 on the back, and then 1 on the other side. And they were really perfect for like us, for like when we were out at night. Boys wanted to play, gave us perfect amount of light. So that helped. For this one, I recently came across these flush mount little lights. Obviously these are the Amazon ones, so they're cheaper than like say are rigid. But so I've got these 2 flush mounts. It was 1 for 25, 2 for 35, so I went the 2 route. So what I'm gonna do, where I'm gonna put them, is I'm going to put one, say, right around in here, because when this door is open, it'll still be usable. When that door swung open, if possible, it'll still be usable. So we're gonna put one up there. Then I think we're gonna put one more above the door right here. All right, first things first, I need to determine where I want it. And I'm pretty sure I ran the wire around somewhere in here. I will go look to make sure. I'm just determining whether I want to put it high or low, because the other thing you gotta think of too is if someone in the future of this van wants to get an awning, you don't want this in way of the possible awning. So I'll probably go around this height. And then for the wire, what you do is, since I'm going to put the wire on the inside, it's not like an outside exposed. I'm going to put a hole with a grommet, slide this through, and so now my wires will be on the inside. So, and it comes with a little foam sticky backer piece as well. But what I'll do, I'll make sure it's looking level, sight looks good for sure. First notch. And take the screwdriver that goes through there. I've got my first little hole. So for the next one, I'll measure, make sure it's all level, and go from there. Done. If light were to go out, you just unbolt it now. You unscrew it. You don't have to worry about self-tappers somehow coming undone or trying to figure out a way to cut it off. You'll thread it on here, your nutsert, slide it in here. And then just unscrew it. And that is on there. Really, really nice. I need to put a hole with a grommet. Got my grommet. Sure, try to get it nice, perfect. I might have to go from the inside and make sure that it's nice and good. All right, got the insulation pulled back, so now I can easily slide these 2 wires in. Wanted to make sure I informed I made aware. So in here is where I'm putting that other one. I don't know if it'll work with all this light, but as you can see, there are airbags in here, the airbag system. So before you start drilling holes, you want to make sure, map out thoroughly a couple times, make sure they're not gonna hit the airbag system. I'm not here, I'm not even close to it. As you can see, these holes. What I did use though to help me out, make sure I didn't go too far, drill bit with drill stops. They are very, very handy. So I will wire these up, show you how to wire them up real quick. As you can see, there's one nutsert, another one grommet wires. Also got my positive, my negative, and then this was like a loop that obviously would go all the way back to there. So I just cut it in half, and then what I'm gonna use is these. This is called a solder seal. So it is a butt connector, but what you do is you just heat it up so that it shrinks like heat shrink, and then this has solder in the middle, and so it'll just like solder it together as you heat it up, and then once you heat it up and you see it shrinks down and solders, you let it sit for probably about 30 seconds because it's still gonna be hot and the solder's still gonna be able to move freely. So you let it cool off, and then once you pull it, it's super tight. So I'm going to use these. So you want to focus on your good solid connection. Oh my lord. So they're twisted around each other very well. I can pull on it and it doesn't want to come off. So then what you'll do is you'll slide this on and then heat it up. So they're now both sealed, solder sealed, connected. You can pull on it, and they're not coming out. Why is it not focusing today? My goodness. Check out all that light. So, when you're out in the boondocks, and you're boondocking, camping off grid, you have plenty of light. What, bud?
What could you have get down?
If I want a cookie, I gotta get down.
You want to get cookies?
Yeah, I'll come get a cookie. Mommy, can Daddy have a cookie? She's probably like, are you sure it's for Daddy? Are you lying to me? Which cookie I want? I want them all.
No.
I can't.
Which one?
How about I take this one?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll take this.
Oh, did my man say you can get one? Bring it back to Mama. Thanks, dude.
Can we get that?
You bring it back.
To my mom.
Why you don't want to bring it? Because you don't want Mama to see you? To bring the cookies to me. He brings me the whole thing of cookies. I take one out. He takes one out. And he closes the lid and he says, can you bring it back? I said, why? I said, you're not supposed to have this? Nope. Okay, here, hold my cookie. Don't eat it. I'll bring the container back. He's 3. I don't know how he already knows all this stuff like that.